It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is May the 1st, 2024, and the time is 9:07. My name is Carolyn Stapleton. I'll be serving as the chairman of today's parole panel. My colleagues are on the panel today, sitting on my left. Mrs.
Jerry Ledoux.
Okay, and I'm on right.
Pete Green.
Today's panel is at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Staff, would you please introduce yourself for the record?
Carla Williams.
Francis Abbott.
Today our remote location is at Raymond Laborde Correctional. With staff at the facility there, please introduce yourself for the record.
Ma'am, good morning. Warden Marcus Myers.
Raven Heath Classification. Melissa Joshua Records.
Okay. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Carter, for the record.
Eddie Carter, DOC number 397595.
Mr. Carter, I'm going to read some information into the record and then ask if you verify it. And then we'll conduct a parole interview. Your case has been signed today to Ms. Jerry Ledoux, who will take the lead on the interview. Once the interview is completed, we'll ask the warden or the facility staff for input. We'll also ask any public comments if it's available. At the end, you will be allowed to make a statement on your behalf before the panel votes. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Today, I'm going to read your name again with your DOC number. It's Eddie Carter. Your DOC number is 397595. The offense is armed robbery. The sentencing is 50 years hard labor. The sentencing date was August the 3rd, 2004. Your parole eligibility date is October the 30th, 2024. Your good time date is October 14th, 2052. Your full term date is July 30th, 2053. We don't have any input from survivors or victims or the DA's office at this time, so I'm going to hand this over to Ms. Ledoux.
Good morning, Mr. Carter.
Good morning.
So reviewing your record, I noted that there were, you were not initially charged just with armed robbery, were you? You had another count. Do you remember
Yes,
what?
Attempted second degree murder and conspiracy armed robbery.
Okay, so what happened to that particular count? Did they dismiss that, or was that taken into consideration in your sentencing? What happened to that?
They dismissed it and they charged me with armed robbery.
Did they plead it down though? I mean, that was pled down to armed robbery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it wasn't dismissed, it was just pled down.
So, I'm sorry, it was dismissed.
It's dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
During the armed robbery, did you shoot your a victim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And okay, okay. It looks like you've taken quite a few classes, and I think that's great. You received your GED.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
it's not easy, and I appreciate that. Looks like you're involved in some good programming.
Yes, ma'am.
You've had a few write-ups.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many years have you been serving? You've got a 50-year sentence. How many years have you been incarcerated? I believe you're muted. We don't hear you on this
There.
side.
You got us now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Pull it up.
19 years and a few months,
19 years
6 months. Yes, ma'am.
of your 50. Okay. And you're currently about 44 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
When you committed this crime, you had already had 3 charges that you served time on, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm going to ask you point blank, why should we release you at this time?
Because I have rehabilitated myself, and I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago.
Well, I do have some concerns. I will tell you that. I'd like to go ahead and allow my colleagues if they have any questions to ask.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Carter, so why were you robbing the store? What did you need the money for?
Drugs,
Okay, what kind of drug treatment have you received since then?
been in AA, NA.
Okay, have you ever been to any of our inpatient treatment centers like Blue Walters or
No, sir.
Steve Hall? Okay, what kind of treatment have you had in the past?
Well, I've been in none, but I've been in living in balance in AA, NA.
Do you think you have a drug problem?
I did. Yes, sir.
All right. What'll be your sobriety plan when you get on the streets? How you gonna stay sober?
Yes, sir.
How?
I'll stand away from the wrong people, doing what I need to do, and still get help once I get out there.
Yeah, that's big. I think you're kind of pushing toward it, but I think you need a lot of treatment if you ever make it, when you make it out.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what got you in trouble to start off with, was your drug.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I have no further.
Mr. Carter, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that my colleagues have already asked you most questions. I wish I had in here the disability or the injuries caused to the person that you shot, because it doesn't list any of that. And I know, a lot of times when a person gets shot, sometimes they'll come back not fatal or be critically injured or something like that. They suffer lifelong disabilities, but I don't have that here. So if my colleagues are ready, oh no, I want to ask the warden. Warden, do you have any statements you would like to make?
Yes, ma'am, just a couple. You know, as it's been hit on already, Mr. Carter has received his GED since he's been incarcerated, and he's completed a lot of good programs. We're about to have him enrolled in our victim impact program. We discussed this in my meeting with him day before yesterday, because obviously there is a victim to this crime, and I think he needs this class very bad. I think it'll help him a lot. And I'd also like to see him participate in my Boys to Men program, which is a program that we have here to help offenders grow into better men. It's a 6-month program. I'd like to see him take that. You know, he's come a long way. He served a lot of time, but you know, his crime was very serious, and he understands that. I do appreciate the fact that he takes responsibility in the things that he's done. but I think he needs a little more work. And, you know, his conduct history, he hasn't had a write-up in over 5 years, which I'm very proud of with that. And the other thing I will say about his conduct history, he's been locked up for 20 years. Most young men that come in at 20 years old, their conduct history is 2 or 3 pages long. And I see, you know, he's only had 9 write-ups, you know, and that's a good thing. So I think he's on his way, but I think he needs a little more help and some more classes to get him to where he needs to be able to go home and succeed. That's all I have.
I appreciate those comments, Warden. Did you have something else you'd like to say?
I'd like to make note that we do have some information about the victim. And over the years, your victim endured numerous medical procedures and continues to have issues related to the injury to this day. So, you know, there is residual effect from that.
Thank you for that input, because that was something to me that was very important to hear the victim's voice in this situation. Is the panel ready to vote?
Give him a chance to.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my first one, so just forgive me. Yes, sir. I would like to hear what you have to say, please.
Today I'm here to ask my victim for forgiveness and let my victim know that I take full responsibility for my action of my younger self. I have beaten myself down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to the ground. If I can take this back, I would, but today I cannot. It hurts me to still remember that I hurt my victim, their family, my family, and above all, my community. Can't change the past, but I can change the future. Pray that I'm able to forgive myself for the harmful injustice.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Carter, in reviewing your record, one of the things that I wrote is that you were definitely on the right track. Wow, you've done a really good job, and you know, you can't change the past. I appreciate that. I'm not retrying you, but I do believe that I need to see a little bit more time, some more substance abuse treatment. I appreciate the warden's perspective on getting you involved in the things that he wants to. I think that's important. Today is going to be to deny you, but you know, after you've completed some of these programs and continue to be write-up free, I'd like for you to write back. That's not any guarantee you'll be, you know, but that's just my vote today is to deny. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Carter, in listening to you, I do believe you. I believe you're on the right track. I agree with the warden. It's just a matter of time now. You know, keep working on yourself, keep staying out of trouble, and you know, take the classes the warden said, and then reapply as soon as you're eligible.
Yes,
but today I just don't think you're quite ready. My vote is to deny.
yes, sir.
Mr. Carter, I can only reflect the statements of the warden and then my colleagues. It's not that in any way we want to discourage you, because you've been doing a lot of good, right things.
Yes.
And we want you to continue that and then come back and reapply.
Yes,
And that classes that the warden spoke about will help you a lot. And so my vote today is to deny. And so the parole vote today is to deny. And this would conclude our meeting at 9:21.